Have you ever met someone who didn't keep their word? How important is your word to you? The next important part of thought, word, and deed is word. When your word lines up with your thoughts, it pushes the creation process that much further into existence. What I mean by this is if you follow up a thought of this conditioning class is going to be painful with a verbal declaration to the other people in the class that this conditioning class is going to be painful, you have now supported the thought with your word. You have moved your thought into a space where you and the other people in your class can work together to create the shared reality of a painful conditioning class. When you add additional people to help support your narrative, this then becomes a joint creation project that you can all work on together. When you plant the seed verbally that this conditioning class is going to be painful, then there will always be people who unconsciously accept that what you say is true and support in your reality. You can then all grunt and groan together and bond over your shared experience of pain. Now, if you have mind power and someone else says, this conditioning class is going to be painful, you will approach this statement quite differently. Someone who has mastered their mind knows that they have a choice on whatever they accept, that statement or not. They know that they can choose to agree with that statement and experience a painful class, or they can reject that statement and have a different experience than the rest of the group. Someone with mind power does not let someone else make that decision for them in their mind. This is the interesting thing about word. It loses its power if it's not supported by aligned thought. That's a big boom, right? Therefore, you can choose to allow the words of other people to take root in your life or choose, boom, to reject them. If you mentally reject them, then they have no power over you. This is just as important in business as it is in life. You have a choice of whether or not you want to be part of the economy is tanking club or the taxes are killing us club. It doesn't matter what the situation or environment is. The approach to these kinds of statements is always the same. Listen to the statement. Take a step back and ask yourself if you are going to choose to believe it. Once you've made your decision, guess what? Take the appropriate actions. An important thing to note is that this also works in the opposite way. For instance, if you state with enthusiasm, I'm really motivated today, but the reality is you are exhausted, your word will not have enough power to move you into a state of motivation. In fact, the minute you say, I am really motivated today, when in fact you are not, your mind will immediately call you out as, hey, you big ass liar, right? This is the reason why the practice of stating affirmations can sometimes backfire on people who are trying to use them to improve their lives. If you are trying to convince your mind that you are feeling a certain way or believe a certain thing, you are going about things in a completely wrong direction. If you are trying to manifest more money into your life and you are continuously stating large sums of money come to me quickly and easily, but your mind is screaming at you, no, it doesn't. You're an idiot, right? Your affirmations are getting nowhere. In fact, when your mind begins to double down on the opposite to what you were stating, it can be very difficult to turn things around. If this is a new idea to you, it's possible a light bulb just went off and you realize why affirmations or the whole idea of positive thinking maybe hasn't worked out for you in the past. If you were stating something out loud that is not your actual belief, you're working against yourself. It's like you were trying to row in the opposite direction at the same time. I know this makes sense to you. You should listen to this one twice write notes, and put it into massive action now. Boom.